In this video, I'm going to talk about DocuSign integration with Power Pages. Now, DocuSign is a third-party application which allows you to do an e-signature on the document. Now, I have covered a basic video on how to use DocuSign, so you can watch it in the YouTube link. Now, DocuSign integration with Power Pages, it enables seamless usage of e-signature functionality between Power Pages site and DocuSign application. Now, how this is made possible is that the main linking bond between these two technologies are made possible using Power Automate interface. So, we make use of Power Automate flows to connect these two applications. Now, moving prerequisite. Now, prerequisite for DocuSign integration is like first thing you need to have an account in DocuSign. You need to create a template in DocuSign. You need to upload the template document for which you need a signature. You add a role and you add some sort of parameters while creating a template. Template ID, template name, role name, and basically these three informations will be used in connecting to the Power Pages. Now, from a Power Pages site, you need to have one dataverse table which through which you need to connect this DocuSign application to. You need to have a dataverse form, preferably a multi-step form whereby you will sort some signature, and a page hosting the multi-step form. Dataverse table permission, installation of the DocuSign application, and then enablement of integration to DocuSign. Now, steps to configure DocuSign is a multi-step process. Okay, it's not very intuitive, but then you need to go through some of the things. Now, I've drafted some steps over here. Now, if you see in the legend, if you see this blue color, it's a DocuSign. If you see a green color, it's Power Pages design. Yellow, Power Pages setup. Power Automate is purple. Okay. Now, as you see the steps over here, now if you see the steps, let me go back. Yeah, anything which is in blue you need to do in DocuSign. Okay, so what you need to do in DocuSign is first create a DocuSign account. You need to create a template, note down the name of the template, add documents to template for which you are looking for to sign the document, add the recipients, map fields, save the template, grab the template ID. Now, wherever I have written and note it down, you need to keep that handy somewhere in Notepad so that you can use it when you configure the Power Pages setup. Now, from a Power Pages site, you need to create a Power Pages site. You need to create a selected database table for which you want that e-signature. You create a forms for the table, single or multiple. You create a page and add form onto the page. Now, under Power Pages setup, okay, you need to go into external apps and install the DocuSign app if it is not installed. Post installation, you need to configure the DocuSign app. Okay. Now, navigate to Power Automate, because once you start configuring this, it has some sort of a link with Power Automate. Power Automate will create a couple of flows: DocuSign envelope create and sign, DocuSign envelope completed trigger. Now these flows needs to have their connection references resolved. So one is DocuSign and one is Dataverse connectors, which you need to resolve it. Once you resolve that, in DocuSign envelope completed trigger flow, select the account provision for DocuSign. So here you are actually linking the DocuSign login with your Power Automate flow. Okay, and then you need to turn on both the flows. Okay, now if you see this yellow or orange color is a Power Pages setup. So in enable integration section, mark connection as resolved, and under integration section, enable the DocuSign application. Click on add template, populate the following field. Remember which I have asked you to note down. Okay, template ID, template name, role name table while provisioning the DocuSign template. Grab those, fill out those information, and then once you are done with it, under setup section and design studio, navigate to integrations cloud flow and select the DocuSign envelope create and sign flow and add it to the site. Now this is an important step which many people misses out. Okay, so watch out for this 21 and 22 step. Now once you're done with it, Power Pages design, you need to navigate to the design studio, edit the form under step settings, and for one of the steps in the form for step setting where you want to actually have that grid defined, under integration select DocuSign template, sync the Power Pages site, test the complete integration. Now, this is like a whole summary of steps to configure a DocuSign. Now, let me show you in action because this all step will not make sense unless you see something in screen. Okay. Now, let me, yeah, let me show you the screen. Now, this is the Power Pages site which I have created. Okay. Now, let me run this application first. Okay, so this is the application, and so in this page test 01 I have created an application. Okay, it's a multi-step form. So uh, if I put some value over here, so now this is a multi-step form. It takes name and age as one of the form field parameters, and if I click on next, it will go to the step 2. In step 2 you will also see one more parameter which is like a checkbox. Okay, now, if I click on this checkbox, it will load some sort of an like a grid, okay, showing me uh, to sign some documents. Okay, please sign documents below. Now, our goal is to come up with this sort of interface, and once this document is shown over here, you can view and sign the document. Okay, now this is coming from DocuSign. Now, if I click on view and sign, what essentially will happen is a document will get loaded in the iframe below. Okay, you sign the document, you put your initial or you design whatever way which you want to do in DocuSign, and once it is loaded, you sign the document. Like if I click over here, I agree to the electronic code, I click on continue, I click on head, and then I click on sign here. I will select my own signature. I'll set opt and sign. And now the signature is here. If I click on initial, and if I click on finish, now this DocuSign template is signed off. Okay. Now I'll just close this over here. I just wanted to show you very quickly like how you can, submit this document. Now, if you see here below, you can submit. Okay. Now I'm submitting this record. Now what I've done in Power Pages, I have submitted a document, signed document, and plus additionally I've filled a couple of fields like name, age, and I consent. Okay. Now from where all these things are coming. Now just to give you a background information, I had this table called as coach agreement. In coach agreement is a simple table which had name, which had age, and which had consent. So it is name is a text field, age is numeric field, whole number, consent is like yes, no field. Now you need to first create a table, okay, for which you want to have the document defined. Then what you can do is like you can go into Power Pages Design Studio and start designing your pages. Okay. Now I've already created that test one. You can create your own new different page, and let's assume I'm just using test 03 now. Okay. Now here I can add a multi-step form. If I click on multi-step form, I need to select the multi-step form. Now the field which you have created, let me show you, let me go back and show you the data. Now here under coach agreement I have created two forms. Okay. Now basically what that form does is like it will the first form, there's a coach step 1 and coach step 2. So I've created this form. Coach step 1 form will take two input, coach step 1 take one input, but this has a grid in it. Okay, so you need to create two different forms, and once you have this form ready, you can add it into your multi-step form over here. Okay, so let me show you. Here in multi-step form, you can configure this multi-step form by clicking on edit form. Now this is already there, so you have already added this multi-step form, and then this form will appear over here. Okay, now you can leave it as it is over here. Now from a DocuSign perspective, now you need to go into DocuSign and create your own template first. Now I've covered a separate video on DocuSign. Have a look into that. But just to show you very quickly how to create a template, you go into template, you click on create template, and then the template will start provisioning. You put the template name, you put a template description, and you upload the document for which you want a signature. Now here, remember one thing, in role, you need to put some value. Okay, so let me put it as role admin or anything. It can be anything. Put name and email. Put a subject line for email. Put a subject line for email message, and then click on next. Okay. Now I'll show you the template which I have created. This is the template which I've created, coach agreement template. Now, if I click on this template, okay, what happens is like it has a template name. So this grab this value. It has a template ID. Grab this value. So two ID we have, so template ID and the template name we have captured. And once we edit this, here I told you that we need to put a role name, right? Role. So coach admin. So this is the third value. Okay. So three value we have captured and keep it as it is. Okay. So now we have all these three parameters which we are going to put it in Power Pages. Now, from a Power Pages perspective, if we go into the setup, now I've already configured, but in case if you have not configured, under integrations under external app, you will see status as say not configured. So you need to click on install basically over here. This application will get installed within your tenant. Okay. And once you click on install, then you need to configure it. And once you start configuring this application, what will happen is like it will ask you to, I'll show you the screen how it looks like. I've grabbed a couple of images while doing that exercise. Yeah, so here, if you will see installation required, so action is installed. So you need to install this particular application. And once you install it, will say start installation. And then you need to click on configure. Now I'll show you that configure screen. Now what happens here, once you see this configure, it will allow you to connect to Power Automate flows. So now these are the two flows which will get created in the backend. DocuSign envelope create and sign, DocuSign envelope completed trigger. What you need to do, you need to open this flow. Okay, so I'll show you that flow. Now if you go under flows, you will see a couple of flows. Let me open the flow and show it to you. So this is a one DocuSign envelope completed trigger and DocuSign envelope create and sign. You need to click on edit, okay, and envelope create and sign, and then there is an another DocuSign envelope completed trigger. Now both the flow you need to open and then you need to resolve the connection. Once the connection is resolved, so two connections basically DocuSign and the Dataverse. DocuSign and Dataverse connection you need to resolve. Okay. And once you resolve this connection, you just save the flow. One more step you need to do in DocuSign envelope completed trigger is once you open the step, it will show nothing in account. You click on it and then it will pick up from the connection. Once you do that, save this flow, turn on the flow. And once you turn on the flow, make sure you click on I have resolved the connection references. Once you do that, your flow will be set and running. Okay, so it is now activated. So this is what I have shown in the blog article. Okay, now here, now what you need to do once this part is done, the most important part over here is you need to go to cloud flows. Now here in cloud flows, this flow, under other cloud flows, you will see this flow, DocuSign envelope create and sign. Now you need to add this to this site. Okay. Now as I've already added, it is showing over here, but then you will not see over here. You will see somewhere in other cloud flows. Now once you add this in the cloud flows, just give it a sync. Okay. Now coming back to a form, multi-step form, what you need to do is like you need to go into the step whereby you need to add those DocuSign grid. Now here in the first form, I'm not going to add, I'm going to add it in the second form. So it's in the second form now. And under second form, if I go to step settings, okay, you will see one more option called as integrations. Once you click on integration, it will have an option to enable eSignature. You click on this box and the DocuSign template will be populated. The moment you click on it, and click on OK, your form will have that e-signature defined. Okay, so again, I'll show you that form, how it will look once it is run. You will get a multi-step form with a couple of fields, whatever fields you put. You put the value, and say put some value, and you click on next. Then it will go into step 2. And within step 2, uh, you can see your submit button as well. You can submit it without a signature. However, if you see this signed documents, you can view and sign the document. Now this is coming through DocuSign, and once this document is loaded, you can actually view the document which you have already uploaded using the template in DocuSign and put your signature and initials. Now, authoring in DocuSign is pretty easy. What you can do, if you want to have multiple signatures, multiple initial, you can define that in the document designer itself within DocuSign and then prepare that template. Okay, and once you're done with it, just sign the document and you can put your initial and then click on finish. So with this, you can submit all your documents within DocuSign. So that's it, folks. This is all about integrating DocuSign with Power Pages using Power Automate. Thanks.